It's on communicating science. I'm a professor of chemistry, and as Josephine will tell you, I look rather like what most people imagine professors of chemistry to look like. And I work at University of Nottingham, and University of Nottingham has a big tradition of demonstrating chemistry. This is my colleague, the late Colonel B.D. Shaw, who lectured on explosives for 62 years. I'm sorry, 62 years. And this is the famous barking dog experiment. And I claim to have introduced dog toys to chemistry teaching. This looks like methane, but it squeaks. And so we took our research, supercritical fluids, to shopping centres. Behind Santa's cave, out came supercritical fluids, and people got really quite excited about this. And then the university started a YouTube channel, and I demonstrated supercritical fluids on YouTube. I became quite friendly with the video journalist, who then suggested we should make videos about every one of the 118 elements on the periodic table. And I told him he was mad because some of them hadn't even been synthesized, but I found some money, and we made a website like this with a video about every single element. Click on hydrogen, and up comes a video about hydrogen with explosions. And we made 120 videos in 5 weeks, and this got really quite a lot of excitement was generated, and we thought we'd finished the project, but there was really a lot of press coverage, even on the BBC Turkish service. I didn't know the BBC had a Turkish service, and in all sorts of different languages. And the result, we had an ongoing project. We found people wanted us to make more videos about chemistry. So we started traveling. Here we are in Darmstadt with, I've got the same tie as today, where the element rentgenium was first synthesized. It's a dreadful name, rentgenium, almost unpronounceable for non-Germans. And then we went to Rio de Janeiro, International Year of Chemistry. There was an exhibit based on our videos, and we all tried to make names of the elements. And then we started trying to make videos about happenings, scientific news. There was a minor setback on the building of our new chemistry building in that halfway through it burnt to the ground. And, but my colleagues actually used the charred wood to do interesting experiments. And I'm pleased to say that the building is now back on track. It's due to be finished and occupied in July, the first carbon-neutral lab, chemistry lab in the world. And we also started making videos about molecules. There are a lot more molecules than there are elements. And you can see here's a series of molecules. Those of you with good sight will see there's one labeled cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is not a molecule, but it's been a very successful video, 15.8 million views. And then we also traveled making videos. Here am I on Bondi Beach, lecturing on the ozone being destroyed in the ozone layer, and you can see the wiggly giggly is there. But one of the big questions is how to judge whether you're making any impact. And we went through a whole series of thoughts, but we decided the best thing was to look at the comments that people made, and this is called a Wordle, where you analyze the words. The bigger the letter, the more common the word. And you can see there's like and video and love and chemistry, and more surprisingly, hair. But, and then this is the Commonwealth Science Conference in Bangalore. Two fans, Saran and Nikhil, found that I was at the conference. They arrived with a test tube for me to autograph. And so It's not easy to write on this test tube. This is from one of our most faithful fans. This is a fan from a fan, Japanese school teacher called Nagayasu Nawa, who flew 600 kilometers a month ago to meet me in Tokyo. This is Noah in Missouri, who's age 4, who wore this wig for a week. And there are many other young children. Some have actually come to visit us in Nottingham. And then there's really quite a striking example by a guy called Ryan Lummy, who dressed up for a race at his school and didn't do badly as a looking like me. But I think the most important thing really to say about these videos is that I've been inundated by by emails, letters, people saying how much they've enjoyed it. This is our team, Brady Harron, our video collaborator. And I would just point out, here is Neil, our technician, who is the hero of the thing, and he never speaks, but he has a huge following. And I just want to end up, there's an important lesson for us all, that none of us are unique. Thank you.
I wondered, how did you do the videos for the elements right at the end with the little Latin names?
With difficulty for the element 108 of Hassium. I was actually, the camera was rolling, I didn't realize, and I was videoed saying, I know nothing about Hassium, shall we make something up? And then when I used the periodic table to predict the properties. But now, since then, we've been to visit some of the places where they've been synthesized, and it was easier than I expected.
I'm not sure if you should ask this, but do you have a favorite element?
Yeah, I'm often asked that. I usually answer that the element sodium, Na, not because it explodes in water, but because my mother was called Ina, and she, as a little girl, contracted her name to Na, N-A, and my children used to call their grandmother before she died, Na, and so I get a warm motherly feeling when I see the symbol.
How many followers do you have on YouTube?
We have, I can't remember, I checked this morning, 746,000, some hundreds. We've got nearly 125 million views, and many views of videos that have been pirated and are on Facebook and so on. I get stopped in the street all over the world by people. I believe, perhaps arrogantly, that I may be the most recognizable chemist in the world, but by the general public.
So which is the most popular element in the videos?
Hydrogen. Well, it's like, but some quite surprising ones, like francium, which is at the bottom, the alkali metals, has quite a large number. But actually, the video that's been watched most of any of them is about plutonium, because we are the only people that have ever got a video of plutonium salts on YouTube. We visited the National Nuclear Laboratory, and there were all sorts of security issues, but we didn't show how we got in. And, but that's been watched by 3.8 million people.
Yeah, so I was going to ask how much collaboration was required to create these videos. The elements have been around for a while. So is this something you did on your own? Did you have to bring in a lot of other labs?
Well, we first of all made it with me and 3 colleagues and our technician. We have gradually been to visit places. Another very successful video was in the bullion vault of the Bank of England. 4,000 tons of gold. And we've also, when I have been traveling, we have sometimes combined this with making videos I visited the museum which contained the first samples of ruthenium that had been made by Professor Klaus in Russia in the 1840s and so on. But most of the experiments we do ourselves.